Welcome to Real Simple, where I, Jenessa Turbes, simplify all things real estate. So today I am talking about inspections from a seller's point of view. We often hear about inspections and what that means for a buyer, but we rarely go into detail on what that means for a seller. So you are under contract and things are getting ready to move. So one of the first things that's going to happen is the buyer is going to schedule their inspection. They will let me know when they would like to schedule it. I will run that by you. Obviously, if your house is vacant, it'll be a little bit easier, but if you're living there, then they kind of have to work with your schedule. But obviously, you want the transaction to keep moving forward, so we'll need to have some flexibility there. But just know that there will be some scheduling involved in order to get that inspection on the books, preferably sooner than later for everybody, so we can get past that stressful part of the contract, as it's stressful for everybody on every side. So once the buyers schedule their inspection, the buyer's agent will let the inspector in and be there for the duration of the inspection. The inspection, depending on the inspector, the size of the property, etc., could last anywhere from, I would say, like 2 to 6 hours. Like if we're talking an acreage property with well and septic, you're going to look more like 6-ish hours. It could be for a single family home, or say like a condo, you're probably going to be looking more at like 2 hours or anywhere in between. So just know that you're going to have to block out a decent chunk of time for that inspection. Oftentimes either before or after, a lot of buyers are going to ask for a radon test. So the inspector will either drop off the radon test before the inspection, 48 hours before, so that he can pick it up when he's done, or he'll have to come back and pick up the radon test 48 hours after the inspection. So again, they will communicate with me. I will communicate all this with you so that we can get everything scheduled and worked out. Obviously, if I need to meet the inspector there so they can set up the radon test before or after, I'm happy to do that. Sometimes the buyer's agent will do it. So anyway, there's a variety of ways that we can make that work, but that is kind of what you can expect from the scheduling and what will actually happen when the actual inspection is taking place. Then what? So the buyer will receive their inspection report back. They will go through that report with their agent, and they will decide if there is anything that is of concern to them. They have a couple options. They can either terminate the contract based on the inspection. That rarely happens. Or they can come back and ask for concessions or a list of repairs that they would like to have done prior to closing. So what does that kind of look like for you? So that'll come through in the inspection objection. Then you and I will go through that together, hopefully with the inspection report. The buyer doesn't always agree to send the inspection report, but I would say 9 times out of 10 they do, so that we can really see what they're talking about and see the pictures. And we will go through and decide what is feasible. You can easily decide to just do everything on the inspection objection, or we can go through and be like, okay, well, this we can definitely do, this we can do, this one, I don't agree with, that kind of thing. So we will kind of talk through your options there. And even if they ask for repairs to be done, say you're not living in the home and you don't really want to have to worry about getting contractors and everything done, one, I can help you with scheduling contractors and meeting them there, or we can also just offer a concession so that the buyers can then take care of the repairs. So ideally, we have some time between the inspection objection and the inspection resolution to get some estimates so that you can really get an idea of what you're getting into as far as repairs go before you decide on anything. Once we have decided on what you agree to, then we will move to the inspection resolution. I'll fill it out and then I'll send it to you for signature. We will then send that to the buyer's agent. The buyer has to sign that inspection resolution in order for the contract to not terminate. So this document is very important. The inspection objection, only the buyer signs. You don't sign that. It's really just information to you. But the inspection resolution, both parties have to sign. And if the buyer does not sign by the inspection resolution deadline, then basically the contract is terminated. And that's basically the way buyers say, I don't agree with this. I'm not signing it. And so we're just going to kind of move on. So that doesn't mean if the buyers don't sign it, that doesn't mean they're in breach of contract. It means they're basically just terminating it. So that's kind of how the inspection process works from a seller's point of view. The buyer is going to come in, schedule the inspection, then the inspection is completed, takes anywhere, depending on the property, from like 2 to 6 hours. And then buyers will come back with an inspection objection. We will then get estimates and figure out what all that looks like, and then turn around and submit an inspection resolution to the buyers to sign. Once that's signed, then you can go through with repairs and everything, and then we usually just have to present pictures or videos, but if contractors are involved, then the paid invoices to the buyer's agent and the buyer as proof that the work was completed. And those invoices usually have to be to the buyers at least 24 hours before closing. So that kind of gives you an idea of the timeline that you have to get the repairs done. So that is the inspection for sellers in a nutshell. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out, text, email, call me, and then don't forget to subscribe so that you have all the information for the rest of your transaction. Have a good day.